We've been discussing in the last hour whether a proposal from the Russians to effectively agree a peace deal in Ukraine is a serious proposal. We'll talk about that a little later on this hour. But in the meantime, the focus very much remains on the number of people and the circumstances surrounding people fleeing from Ukraine into neighbouring countries. Poland has taken as many as 1 million people in the best part of a fortnight as those Ukrainians pour across the border. The Law and Justice Party in charge in Poland has welcomed the influx, and the stories of Polish people offering help and aid have impressed a great many. Putin, meanwhile, has been accused of targeting civilians after a mortar killed an entire family who were trying to escape from Irpin, northwest of the capital. Shocking images of the family laying dead and dying on the pavement have been published and circulated widely. Well, GBNews' own Bradley Harris is in Poland, near the border, speaking to some of those people who have made it out of Ukraine. Bradley.
Yeah, that's right. I'm currently in Medyka, which is on the border between Ukraine and Poland. This is a place that has not stopped for the last 12 days. More than 1.7 million refugees have fled Ukraine. Just over 1 million of those are headed towards Poland. This is the main border crossing, and as soon as you arrive, you can straight away see the support that is on offer. Just in the last few moments, a few people have come in and actually started setting up pizza boxes, and you have people here being fed for free. Many people here, all of which are from Ukraine, currently getting free support from the people of Poland. Here is somebody with boxes of food and drink. It's not just food that is available, though. We also have clothes. Lots and lots of clothes that many people in Poland have come and simply left here in blue bags, jeans, blazers, all of which is free to pick up and take with you, because of course many people who have fled Ukraine will have come with absolutely nothing. Some people tell me that they had to drop everything and leave. This is a journey that people have been on for 20, 30, 40 hours in the car, heading towards Lviv, and then from Lviv heading towards places where we are now on the border between Poland and Ukraine. Once they've come here, they then head a bit further down. There is a huge group of Ukrainians waiting for coaches to turn up, and they have been turning up. Every 10 or 15 minutes there is a big coach that comes up and picks up Ukrainians and takes them into Przemyśl. That is the closest city towards the Ukrainian and Poland border and this main border crossing. Once they head to Przemyśl, they're then in centres, sometimes converted sports halls, where there's beds, places for people to sleep. And there are volunteers who are welcoming Ukrainians, taking them in, feeding them, sometimes even offering them a home. At the minute, if you are a Ukrainian citizen, you don't need a visa to enter places like Poland. Preferably, it is good if you can have a passport or if you can show your child's birth certificate. But at the moment, you're seeing the pictures now. These are the people from Ukraine that are fleeing their country that is currently being torn apart by the Russian invasion. And this doesn't stop. Like I say, this isn't 9 to 5, this is 24 hours. We're on day 12 now, and still people are coming in the masses. But the main thing that I'm seeing here, and it's a brilliant thing, is the amount of support. Poland, the people of Poland are not giving up. They're still supporting Ukrainians, and people here who have fled their country say it's a breath of fresh air. And thank you. They're saying thank you to the Polish people who are offering their support. And it is certainly something that I have seen for the past few hours here, people being very supportive. Here you've got a blanket surrounding a child to keep them warm, because at the minute temperatures have reached -6 at times. It's cold, and people turn up with sometimes just the clothes on their back, no coat, no gloves, nothing at all. So what they're trying to do here in Poland is keep them safe, keep them warm and keep them fed, and potentially and crucially try and find them a place to stay.
Bradley Harris, thanks very much indeed. Thanks a lot. Olivia Utley of the Daily Telegraph is alongside me. Let's talk about refugees, the humanitarian crisis. It's opening, it seems to me, up a conversation again about how Britain, in particular, deals with refugees. I heard somebody on the BBC this morning wonder out loud whether somehow refugees from Ukraine were being treated differently, say, compared to Syrian refugees or people, economic migrants even from the Middle East, because these people are demonstrably ethnically aligned, as it were. In other words, they're white. What do you make of that theory?
I'm a bit sceptical of that theory. I think that there has been waves of economic migrants. Obviously, there are also migrants who desperately need our help coming from the Middle East, but up to 85% of migrants coming from the Middle East are young men, and the vast majority of them would be classified as economic migrants as opposed to refugees. And obviously, the people coming out of Ukraine are very genuine refugees. They're not looking to seek a new life in a richer place. They're looking for refuge while their country is under siege, and they plan to go back to Ukraine as soon as they can. I think, it's great, and what Bradley was showing there was fantastic, the help that Polish people are giving them, but let's not pretend that this is just a happy story. It's going to get too much for Poland quite soon, and then it comes to how can Britain best help. And I think the sort of knee-jerk reaction of open door policy for Britain might not necessarily make a huge amount of sense, in a large part because Ukrainians don't particularly want to cross the whole of Europe and come here. They want to be housed in a neighbouring country so that they can go back to Ukraine as soon as possible. That's best for them, that's best for Ukraine. So it becomes a question of how can we best support Poland?
And I think one of the best answers right now is they'd like to see military support. Well, they're getting that, aren't they? Olivia, for now, thanks very much indeed.